Hi guys, thank you for joining me. This is Algebra 1, Lesson 4. We're talking unit conversions. If you're following along at home, the Saxon Algebra 1 book, 3rd edition. I'm on page 20. Unit multipliers are going to be a part of this lesson, and I love these because 1, it's going to be a real world thing that you will use. And 2, for those of you going on to chemistry, oh boy, let me just tell you, you are going to be using a ton of these in chemistry, all right? So just to give you a brief introduction, first things first, I want to actually back up and talk about this. 17 times 1, that's 17, right? Negative 3 times 1, negative 3. 5 times 1, 5. Smiley face times 1 equals smiley face. This is called the identity property. Identity property. It tells us that we are allowed to multiply anything by 1. And it's the same thing, right? That's why we're allowed to do it. So that's our identity property. Keep that in mind as we talk about this. The next rule that I've got is if I give you 3 over 3, that reduces down to 1. 17 over 17, 1. Negative 5 over negative 5, 1. Smiley face over smiley face, 1. So we've got 2 rules here. We've got that identity property. We're allowed to multiply anything by 1. And then we also know that fractions can equal 1 as long as we've got the top and the bottom matching the same. So how does this all relate to unit conversions? Well, we are going to be multiplying by 1, but we're going to be writing our 1s a little funky. For example, this first one is probably the one you're most familiar with. 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. We have 1 foot on the 1 foot on the bottom, 12 inches on top. These are the same thing. They're the equivalent. Therefore, this fraction equals 1. Equals 1, okay? This is where it's going to come in handy. If you're following along at home, it's on page 20 in the book. We're going to talk about example 4.5. It says, use 1 unit multiplier to convert 32 feet to inches. 32 feet to inches. To start with this, you're always going to do 32 feet, and you're going to put that over 1, and we're going to multiply. Okay, we're going to be multiplying by a fraction that equals 1, because we're allowed to multiply anything by 1. The feet is on top here, which means we want feet on the bottom here. I'll get to that in a minute. 1 foot, the equivalent of 1 foot is 12 inches. 12 inches. Now, we want to go from feet to inches. So if I have something on top and something on bottom, I can cross it out. That includes letters and units. Fun. So what I have up top here, now multiplying fractions, we multiply straight across the top. So I will get 32 times 12, and you can even just write it like this, 32 times 12. On the bottom, I just have 1 times 1, so I'm not even going to do anything with the bottom because we don't have to have a 1 there. As far as our units go, the last thing that we have left, inches. So on our calculator, let's do 32 times 12. We get 384 inches. 384 inches, okay? Let's do the next one, number 2. Looks like we're going, and so there's going to be a couple, before we go on actually, there's going to be a couple of things that you'll see over and over again. 1 foot equals 12 inches. Now, by the way, would be a good time to flip to the notes if you're not already writing these examples down. The notes section in your notebook, and write these notes down and flag them, star them. You're going to be referencing these quite a bit. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. 3 feet equals 1 yard. Okay. Another common one that you'll see is 1 mile. And please note that mile is MI. M is meters. Okay. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. 5,280 feet. Okay. When we're talking metric, so those are the common ones for right now. Metric system, we have 1 meter, which is different than a mile. That's why there's only an M there and a little period there. That's going to give us 100 centimeters. Okay, 100 centimeters. In 1 centimeter, there are 10 millimeters. Okay, in 1 kilometer, there are 1,000 meters. All right, all of these are common ones that you're going to see over and over again, so make sure you write those down. Okay, pause it if you need to. All right, so Taking a look at that second example, it is saying, let's convert the 36 feet to miles. 36 feet to miles. 36 feet to miles. Okay, so again, we're going to start with 36 feet over 1, and we're going to multiply that. Now, feet is up top here, so we want it to be on the bottom here so we can cancel it out. And we want to go from feet to miles. Feet to miles. Okay, so, and actually I'm going to erase this a little bit and give myself a little bit more room. Feet to miles. Okay, I can't put 1 foot here and something 5280 miles up here. That does not equal 1, right? So be real careful about this. Sometimes you're going to be putting the numbers on the top, the one on top and one on bottom. 1 mile gives us 5280 feet, okay? Our units cancel out, and upstairs we're left with 36, downstairs we're left with 5280, and the unit that we're left with is miles. So let's do that on the calculator. 36 divided by 5280. That gives us 6.81818181. So we're going to do 6.82 miles. 6.82 miles for that conversion. Okay, let's do. Oh, here's a good one. I forgot, put this in your notes as well. 1 inch equals 2.5654 centimeters. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. This is converting between our standard, our US units and metric. Okay, so for the third example here, we have 47.25 inches into centimeters. So again, we start with 47.25 inches over 1, okay? We're going to multiply it by something, and I want inches on the bottom so that inch and inch will cancel out. And in every 1 inch, there are 2.54 centimeters. So we can look at that and we see, yep, that equals 1. Now we're going to cancel this and cancel this. And I've run out of room here on my board, so I'm going to do it on the bottom. Now on the bottom here is 1, so we don't even need to worry about that. But on the top, we have 47.25 times 2.54 centimeters. Let's do the math on that. 47.25 times 2.54 gives us 120.015 centimeters. There is your solution. Okay. Here, all right, so I'm going to jump a little bit ahead. We can do use two, I'm at 4.9, which is on page 21, 4.9. So for this example, we're going to use 2 unit multipliers to convert 52 feet to centimeters, 52 feet to centimeters. In fact, 52, I said 52 and then I wrote 42, but it's actually 42. I don't know why I keep saying 52. All right, 42 feet to centimeters. Let me just double check that. Okay, so we're going to use 2 unit multipliers, it says this time. So we're going to do 42 feet, okay, that over 1. We're going to multiply it by something, and I think it's going to be feet on the bottom here because I want to be able to cancel those out. We're going down, so instead of feet, we're going to do inches. Now we got to put something here that gives us the equivalent of 1. So I'm going to do 1 foot is 12 inches, okay? This cancels out this, but I'm at inches now, and I need to be at centimeters. So I'm going to have to do this one more time. I want inches on the bottom here, so they cancel out, which means centimeters are going to be up here. In 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. This cancels out, and I'm left with, on the bottom, I'm left with just 1, so excellent, we can get rid of those guys. 42 times 12 times 2.54 centimeters, all right? If you do the math on that, actually, you know, you're going to find on the examples and in the solutions manual for these, they actually don't do the math most of the time. So for right now, you can just leave it like that. Otherwise, you can multiply either way. Let's see. Okay, so now would be a good time to pause and do on page 22. Page 22. G and H. So pause and practice those two, and then come on back and we'll go through those. So for G, we're gonna do, it says use 2 unit multipliers to convert 75 feet to centimeters. So we have 75 feet, we're gonna put that over 1 times, feet are gonna go on the bottom here because I wanna cancel those out. And I can't go from feet straight to centimeters because I gotta use 2 unit multipliers. So I'm gonna do inches. In 1 foot, there are 12 inches. So these guys cancel, but I'm not done yet because I need to get rid of those inches. So in 1 inch, there are 2.54 centimeters. So now I can get rid of those inches. On the bottom, I have all ones, so that's awesome. So now all of this equals 75 times 12 times 2.54, and the unit that we have left is centimeters. All of that was on the top, so I multiply it like that, straight across. That's G. All right. Let's do H. Use 2 unit multipliers to convert 450 inches to miles. 450 inches to miles. We start with 450 inches over 1 times, we put inches on the bottom here, we're going up, so let's go to feet. 1 inch is 12 feet, right? No, that does not equal 1. So we're gonna do 1 foot equals 12 inches. Now we wanna go from, so our inches can cancel out, but we wanna go from feet to miles. So feet's up top here, so I'm gonna put it down on the bottom, miles here. And in 1 mile, there are 5280 feet. Cancel those guys, cancel those guys. Okay, if I multiply straight across the top, I get 450. On the bottom, I get 12 times 5280. And then the only unit that I have left is this guy right here, miles. Okay? If you wanted to do the math on that, it would be 4, I'm gonna put that over here because I'm running out of space here. 450 divided by 5280 times 12 would give me 63,360. So 450 divided by that big number would give me 7.1 times 10 to the negative 3. So it's going to be in the third direction, 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to be 0.0071. Excellent. So that's why you don't have to actually do the math, because it's going to be some wonky numbers. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, great job, guys. Thank you.